Hello, Dr. Zaid Natu. It's a pleasure to connect with you, and thanks for your time. Uh, Let me introduce Dr. Zaid Natu. Dr. Zaid Natu is the founder of VR Simple DU company, where they promote 3D visualization in dental and medical. So today we would want to have your inputs on how 3D visualization is going to benefit the dental fraternity going forward. Doctor, my first question to you is, what do you think about the potential of 3D visualization of VR and AR in dentistry as a technology of the future?
Hello, Jingu. Thank you for inviting.
Pleasure.
The scope is very promising for the applications of VR and AR in dentistry. If you look at it broadly, one aspect is in dental education and the other is in clinical practice. In dental education, we are talking about use of high fidelity dental simulators for clinical skills training. That is where the potential of VR and AR is being maximum leveraged in the present time. And in clinical practice, it is still under development, but the scope would be in terms of having more predictability in treatment outcomes, especially when combined with technologies like scanning and 3D printing. When used together. One more aspect of the applications of or the scope of VR and AR in dentistry is improving patient experience. How using head-mounted displays when the patient is undergoing a treatment, especially pediatric patients or patients who are too nervous or anxious. So you give them an immersive environment, a soothing immersive environment, so that they are distracted. So these are some of the scope of the VR and AR in dentistry. But major component, major influence is going to be the use of high fidelity dental simulators for clinical skills training of undergraduate students.
Okay, so in the country, when it comes to, I'm talking about the global context, what is the kind of penetration of dental simulation? Because we just emphasized on dental simulation, so we'll touch upon that. What is the global penetration, and what is in the Indian context? Where is that we have reached today?
Yes, that's a really nice question. Just to give you a global context, now the use of high fidelity dental simulation. I'll be specific about dental simulation because the medical simulation industry has existed since the past, has been into existence since the past 30-40 years, and it has shaped up pretty well. It has been absorbed also equally well. But the dental simulation industry, the high fidelity one, is into existence since the past 2 decades. Much work has taken place in the last decade. One of the pioneers was King's College London, when it developed a machine called the Haptel, which used advanced haptics and virtual reality for immersive training purposes. And in the last decade, there are a few European companies who have really sophisticated simulators, and they have been able to collaborate with Western universities. So there is some amount of presence in the Western universities, in Europe, in North America, in the Middle East as well. Slowly, this technology is coming to India. I am glad to share that one of the universities in India recently made a purchase in the middle of COVID. Has incorporated 5 of these high fidelity haptic simulators, and slowly we are looking at more prospects in the country, I'm sure, because in a globalized era, we all need to keep pace with each other.
Also, Doctor, how will this benefit in these times that we are all aware, and it's a challenging time that we are all in the COVID times, and it's been students, many of the colleges, they are also closed due to lockdown. Do you think that something like this as a technology can benefit the students community in the dental space to begin with?
Well, definitely it will. But to give you a broad picture, whether it is today's times or we are looking at the future, especially in the Western world, patient care or directly training on patients, because of the medical legal aspects, there are several challenges. Now, with that, giving a trainee student, exposing him to patient while he's not prepared, is a very sensitive area. If you can offer him an environment where it's a safe environment, it's more realistic, yet the patient is not at risk. This is where technologies like these high fidelity dental simulators come into play, where patient is taken out of the learning loop and substituted by close to real environments, which are possible with technologies like simulation, 3D visualization, virtual reality, haptics, and mixed reality.
Right. Now, that's the beauty of it all is that 3D technology also constitutes of 3D printing, Doctor. And we see that 3D visualization is also complementing 3D printing. So both are going to go hand in hand for dental education and also treatment planning, so including both even diagnosis, training and treatment planning. So what do you think, how 3D printing, as per your conclusion, can help in this course?
Well, it has a big role to play. The beauty of the high fidelity dental simulators is that you use it for training purposes as well as can be integrated into a clinical practice, because these highly sophisticated machineries allow you to import data in the form of STL and DICOM format. What that means is your actual patient data can be incorporated into the machine, and you can do your treatment planning, execution, guided surgeries, all of that with the help of this technology. Not only that, you can also connect these machines to 3D printers, and you can print your designs, your whatever the treatment plan, whatever treatment execution, that can be printed for physical evaluation with the help of 3D printers, connecting them to 3D printers.
One more thing is, Doctor, an important question which we thought is, with this, the 3D visualization when it comes to dental simulators, do you think institutionally also it will help for institutes and universities for their assessment and evaluation better when it comes to on students per se? Because I know for the fact that it's going to be data analytics, because as we have data, you will try to match and compare how close the student can be in perfection when not physically there. But with this simulators, do you think that this can be an important aspect for assessment and for university to make this as a standard practice for their for assessment of students, as a part of the curriculum?
Yeah, that's a great observation. The thing is, let me first right away make it clear that these technologies are nowhere a replacement to our teachers or the current modalities. But these technologies are a supplement. These technologies will try and cover up the flaws which exist in the current modalities of training. For example, with the help of these technologies, a student can refine their fine motor skills. It's more repeatable, can practice n number of times, the feedback which is offered through the technology, through the simulator, is standardized, is objective. So using that, we can have assessments in which grading could be standardized, assessments could be standardized, we could have uniformity because of the technology. Yeah, so
Great, doctor. Thank you so much.
That has a big role to play. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, doctor, for your inputs. I think it was very informative in terms of the source, and we welcome you and we welcome you to our platform, the 3D Graphy panel. I'm sure there'll be a lot of learnings and sharing in the course on the subject of 3D visualization for many of them to benefit from this particular platform. Thank you so much for your time and for your interview. It's a pleasure to connect with you, doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Shiva. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.